Okay, you have about 30 seconds.
Check the blog. Photo bomber. Everyone else is out doing ready.
Okay, we're gonna regroup. If you haven't determined, pick one and circle it, because we're gonna move on. Yes. Okay, we're regrouping. Let's pick Carl. Carl. Which Mosby objective did you guys come up with? Did you pick for?
We picked number 5, creating a positive classroom learning environment.
All right, raise your hand if you also picked 5. We did too. Is 5 the right answer? We don't know. So you as a lead instructor, that's the decision you have to make. You have to just go, you have to make a decision and pick what you think is best. And that's what we did.
I'm curious as to why you chose number 5, because it's talking about a positive classroom learning environment. I'm curious to see what other people chose.
2 was the close second.
Raise your hand if you picked 4.
No.
Raise your hand if you picked 5. We already did 5. And raise your hand if you picked 8. What was there? Another one? 6.
2 was, and see, what Erica brought up is, we went back and forth while we were doing this. Same thing what you said. You just have to pick what you think is the best one.
And it would have been okay if the majority of us got 2.
Yes. There's no wrong answer here. Okay. So why don't you, let's do number 2. 2 should be a little bit easier because you're only looking at Mosby standards 2 and 5. So the objective states, integrate techniques of responsibility development into the core content areas of instruction. So does that meet 2 or 5? You have about 30 seconds for this one. And circle it.
I like how you're thinking.
Okay, raise your hand if you picked Mosby Standard 2.
2.
The majority of people did. We picked 2 also. Raise your hand if you picked 5. If, as a lead instructor, you picked 5 instead of 2, would that be wrong? No. You can pick whichever one you think is the best fit for that objective.
So Sherry, if
Yes.
you picked 2 for both number 1 and 2.
We're going to get there.
Okay.
We're going to get there. We're not there yet.
I think that second one was actually a 1, though. I don't think it actually matched 2 or 5.
Well, if you wanted to, as a lead instructor, switch it, you could. But what Melanie said earlier, why make it harder on yourself? Go with the standards that they've already listed here, and then look at those, just to make it easier on you. But if you wanted to switch it to 1, of course, you can do that.
Duplication and
Yep, we're getting to that, because that's going to happen. Okay, now do 3, 4, and 5 real quick with your partner. 3, you're looking at 5 and 6. Go ahead and do the last 3 objectives with your partner. Circle, Mosby standard, you think is the best fit.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up and pass out their stuff.
Probably two.
We have a few more things. We haven't aligned yet.
Oh, okay. See, I knew it would take us longer than we thought.
Yes. I know. Are you in panic?
Yeah. We'll panic.
You're never in panic. She's always calm. You know what? That's exactly what we picked.
Two and five.
Okay, if you're not finished, it's okay. This is just practice. But for the sake of time, we need to move on. Objective number 3. Did you pick? Raise your hand if you picked 5. That's what we picked. Okay. Good for you. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, objective number 4. Which of those, most be standard 2, 5, 6, or 9, did you pick? 9. Yes, that's what we picked. Okay, now if you picked another one, would it be wrong? No. You as lead instructor make that decision. Okay, objective number 5. 2 or 5?
2.
Same that we picked. Okay.
I have a question that's good that may need clarification for this question Jim asked is, what if you had 2 in one of them and 2 in another?
That's what we're doing next. That's where we're headed. Yes. Okay, but before we head there, if you will look at, or if you will fill this in, what you're going to have for each of your objectives, you can just copy mine down, but I want to explain this to you. For my most be standard 5, that's now what the program objective that I'm going to be meeting. What am I going to use for my assessment? I took my syllabus and I took my assignments, which are also assessments, and I picked which assignment or assessment would best measure that objective and that most be standard 5. So now you have to pick an assessment. As a lead instructor, you have to make that decision which assignment in your course would best assess that objective.
So we're going with just one assessment?
Yes, you can only have one. Good question. You can only have one assessment per objective. These are from my course. You will have your syllabus. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying this is what they're requiring of us.
Okay, so a student does a classroom management study, for example, which really covers several different things. I mean, it's
Like number 4. Here, I have my final course project in PowerPoint. That really encompasses the entire course, but I had to pick where it would best fit.
What's your question, Jim?
okay. We have, the nature of our program is that we have our students who do projects, and many of the projects cover several of the objectives thoroughly.
Yeah. So could one
But we only
assignment,
use it once.
so, no, but your question is, could one assignment be used for 2 objectives?
Right.
Yes, it can.
But here's the thing too. If you teach it and Shelton teaches it and I teach it, we all have to use that same assessment for that objective. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Remember, this
Yeah.
is, the point of this is that now, you may have, and I thought you were gonna ask a different question, but I think someone was asking it. You could have 5 tools that measure the first one. But you're gonna list just one, because that's how we're gonna collect and use archive.
The data.
From. You may use other ones to help assess that, you personally in your class. But we need to identify one thing that's gonna be turned in officially for that assessment. And if it's a paper, we might ask you for an artifact. So you'll turn in a paper along with whatever the rubric you're using or something. But we want to clearly identify one per, this way I'm talking about. You could use this way, you can use it.
You can add other assessment tools that you want as an instructor that isn't listed here. But this is what is going to be the standard, the same